Hi everyone, welcome to this particular video. So in our previous video, we have already discussed about this particular list. I have given you the detailed introduction of this particular list, and I told you why it is super important inside Python and how you can store the data inside a list, right? So in this particular video, we'll be discussing about list inbuilt methods. Okay, so there are some inbuilt methods inside list. So these are the method actually you can use whenever you are writing your program. So this will make your task very easy. Okay, so what I will do, I'll go to my code editor and try to discuss this particular list method inside Python. So guys, there are so many list methods or function are available. So here you can see these are the list methods are available. So here we'll be exploring all of them one by one, but some of them are not required whenever, let's say, you are creating an against a project. So whenever you are learning something from your mentor, also try to do the self-exploration. That will give you like more knowledge on that particular specific topic. So let's try to start with this particular list method and function. So there are some most used actually list methods and function I'll be discussing in this particular video. And these are the functionality actually you'll be using a lot, okay, in your projects and all. So the first method actually I'll be discussing about is nothing but append. Append means, let's say you want to add any item in a specific list. So you can use this particular append function. So let me give you one example. Let's say L is a list, and inside that, let's say I'm having some value. Let's say 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, if I print this particular array, you'll see that I'm having these are the item, okay, in this particular array. Now, let's say I want to add another item in this particular list. So for this, I can use this particular append function. So simply, I'll just call l.append. Okay, l.append. And here you just need to give that particular item, like which item you want to store in this particular list. Let's say I'll give 5 here. I'll give 5 here. Now if I execute this particular program, see, this particular 5 has been added in this particular list. So if you want to check it, what you can do, you can simply print this particular. So what you can do, you can simply print this particular list again. Now you'll see that 5 has been added. So I think I remember I told you this list is nothing but it's a mutable. Okay, I'll just try to remember list is mutable. So let me write here. Lists is mutable. Okay, you can change the list. Okay, so let's try to remember this particular things. List is mutable, but I think I remember I told you string is not immutable, because inside string I can't change anything. I can't actually add anything there. I think you remember. Let's say this is my string. Let's say is equal to Buppy, and now let's say I want to change let's say I want to change anything inside this particular string. Let's say I want to change this particular B with any other. Let's say index 0, and let's say I want to change with A. It will throw me error. String does not support item assignment, but the list actually we can change. So let me give you one example. Let's say this is my list, and now let's say I want to change this particular one with any other value. I can easily do it. I'll just call this particular list object, and I'll give the index of this particular, let's say, item. Let's say the index is 0, that means 1. Now I want to change this particular one with, let's say, 100. Now if I execute this particular program, I'll print this particular list. Now see, this particular one has been changed with 100. That means you can change inside a list. It's possible. That's why it's mutable. Okay, that's why it's mutable. So let me show you another example. Let's say I want to change this particular 4 with any other value. Yes, you can do it. So I'll copy this particular code. Now let's say what is the 4 index? 0, 1, 2, 3. So here I have to give 3. Now let's say I want to change with 200. Now if I execute this particular program, you'll see that this particular 4 will replace with 200. So this is called actually editing with index. Okay, this is called actually editing with indexing. Okay, because here I'm using indexing. Now here you can perform edit with slicing as well. So let me give you another example. Let's say this is my list. This is my list. Now what I will do, let's say I want to change, these are the value. Let's say I want to change 2, 3, and 4 with any other value. So what I will do, I'll just do the slicing first of all. So here I will write from 1, 0, 1, 2, 3. That means 4 till 4. I want to change with other value. So here I have to give the value as a list. Let's say I want to change with 200, then 300, and let's say 400. Now if I print this particular list, print L, you will see that all the value would be changed. Okay, all the item would be changed. So that's how actually you can do editing with slicing. Both you can do inside a list. Okay, now I think this part is clear why we call this particular list as a mutable. Okay, mutable data type. So one function we have learned called append. Append means if you want to add something at the end of that particular list, Okay, so you can use this particular append function that time. Always try to remember append will. Okay, append will add a value at the last position of that particular list. At the last position of that particular list. See, if I again do the append operation, let's say I'll add another number. I'll just call l.append. Let's say I want to add 200. Okay, I want to add 200. Now, first of all, I will execute this particular line. Then I will execute this particular line. Then I will print this particular L. Now I'll see that first of all, 5 will add at the last. Then 200 will add at the last. See, it will always add that particular item at the last position of that particular list. Okay, this is the idea. And that's how we can use this particular append function. Now there is another one called extend. So let me also show you this particular extend example. So what I will do, I'll copy this particular same list. But before discussing this particular extend, I will discuss two more concepts inside this particular append. Let's say, I'll copy this particular code. I'll copy this particular code. And here I will paste it. Now let's say if I just write l.append, if I give, let's say, 6, 7, and 8. Now just pause this particular video and let me know what will be the output. Okay, what will be the output? Just let me know. See, if I execute this particular program, you will see that this particular list would be appended in this particular list. Now see, this is my list, and inside this particular list has been appended. Okay, it's not like that. It will only add the values. It will add the entire list, because you are giving the list type data here. List type data. That's why it will store that particular list. So similar concept can be also applied with any other type data. Let's say if I just write l.append, let's say if I give true here, so it will add that particular true. Let me show you. If I print the L right now, now see 2 has been added. Now you can see true has been added at the last position of that particular list. That means you can add any kinds of data type in this particular list with the help of this particular append. All right. Now let's try to discuss this particular extend. Now see, extend is slightly powerful than your append. So in append, you can see we can only add one specific value. Okay, we can only add one specific item. But let's say I am having some list of the, let's say here I will just write a is equal to. So let's say I'm having some list of the number. Let's say here I'm having, let's say 10, 11, and 12. So now what I want to do, I want to add, these are the item in this particular list. These are the item in this particular list. So for this, I can use this particular extend. So I'll just write l.extend. Okay, l.extend. And what is the things I want to extend? I want to extend this particular a. These are the item I want to extend. So I'll just give the a here. Now if I print this particular L, you'll see that these are the value would be added. Now see, it is not a list. It's a item only. It's an integer item only. That's how you can use this particular extend. Now, so if you have one specific item, if you want to add at the last position of a list, you can use the append. And if you have list of the item, and if you want to add them at the last position of a list, you can use the extend function for this. I hope this part is clear. Now one question I will ask you, let's say if I just write it l.extend, okay, l.extend, if I give, let's say, hello here, so what will be the output? Just let me know. Let me know in the comment. What will be the output? So if I execute this particular program, you'll see that this is the output. That means, so here what is happening, it is taking all the character one by one and it is storing inside this particular list. That is the idea. Fine. Now the next function will be learning about this particular insert. See, as of now, we saw if you want to add something at the last position of a list, I can use the append, or I can use this particular extend. Extend also it is adding at the last position, right? But let's say I want to add something. I want to add something in a specific position. Let's say I want to add one item in this particular position. Let's say after 1, it would be added. After 1, it would be added. Let's say at the index position, let's say 0, 1. Okay, 1 position, this I want to add any specific item. So for this, I can use this particular insert. So let me give you one example. Let's say if I just write l.insert. Now let's say I want to insert at the index number 1. And here I want to give the number. The number actually I want to add. Let's say I want to add 200. Now if I execute this particular program, print L, you will see that 0, 1. At the index number 1, this particular 200 has been this particular 200 has been added. So insert always takes two input. One is like the position actually want to add the value, and second is the value actually want to add. I hope this part is clear now. See, as I already told you, list is a mutable, okay, mutable data type. So here you can add any kinds of data. You can also delete any kinds of data. It's possible. So let me show you one example of deletion. So here, let me first of all comment deleting items from a list. So for this, I can use this particular del keyword. So let's say, first of all, I'll take a list. So I will take this particular list. Now let's say I want to delete this particular one. So for this, what I will just write, I'll just write del, and here I will give the index of this particular one. So it would be 0. Now if I print this particular L, I'll see that this one would be deleted. This one would be deleted. So with the help of del keyword, you can delete any kinds of item present inside a list. Okay. Now you can perform the same thing with the help of slicing as well. So let me give you another example. I'll copy. Now instead of giving only index, I'll give the slice value. Let's say I want to delete let's say 2 and 3. So what I will give? I'll give the range. So range would be 2 is starting from 1 and it is ending 0, 1, 2, 3. That means it will go till 3. Now if I just do the delete operation, I'll see that only 1 and 4 would be there. That's how you can perform the delete operation. But inside actually a list, we are having some inbuilt function. Okay, inbuilt function for the deletion as well. So let me show you some of them. So the first function we'll be discussing about remove. Okay, so what is the remove example? Let me show you. So let's say this is my list. Now let's say I want to remove one item. Let's say I want to remove this particular 4. See, initially I had to pass the index. Initially I had to pass the index if I want to delete anything. But let's say I don't want to pass the index. I want to directly pass that particular item name. Okay, the item actually I want to remove. So what I will do, I'll use this particular remove. So I'll just write l.remove. And inside that you can mention which item you want to delete. Let's say I want to delete this particular 4. Here I will give the 4. Now if I execute this particular program, I'll print this particular L. Okay, I'll print this particular L. And I'll see that this particular 4 would be removed. So if you want to remove something, you can use this particular remove function that time. Now the next function we'll be learning about pop. Okay, what pop will do? So this is the opposite of your append. So append, what append does? Append actually usually append any kinds of, that means it will add any kinds of item at the last position of that of a list. And what pop does? Pop will remove one element, okay, from the last position of an of a list. Okay, let me show you. So let's say if I just do l.pop. Okay, if I do l.pop, and now if I just print this particular L, you will see that one item would be removed. That means the last item. Pop will always try to remove the last item. Okay, last item. So if you again perform the pop operation, let's say l.pop again, you will see that it will remove the last one. That means the 3. Now see, 1 and 2 would be there. So it will only remove the last item. Okay, last item from a list. That is the idea. Opposite of append. Now there is another function called clear. So let me show you one clear example. Let's say this is my list. And if I want to clear this particular list, that means I don't want to take any kinds of item inside this particular list. I will do the clear operation. And now if I print this particular list, you'll see that this particular list would be completely empty. There is nothing. That means if you want to clear your data inside a list, you can use this particular clear function. So some common function we can also use inside this particular list. So we can use this particular length, min, max, and sorted. So let me give you some example. So let's say this is my list. And on top of this particular list, you can apply these are the common function. Like you can, if you want to check the length of a list, you can use this particular length function. If you want to check the minimum value, you can use this particular min. If you want to check the maximum value of this particular list, you can use this max. And if you want to sort, okay, if you want to sort this particular, let's say array in a ascending order or descending order, you can also do it. So let me execute this particular code. You will see that this is the length. Length is 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. That means 4 items I'm having. The minimum value is 1 and maximum value is 4. And if you do the sort operation, you will see that the sort actually we're doing this descending sort, like reverse is equal to true. So it is sorting 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, now if you just make it as false, it will do the ascending order. Okay, it will do the ascending order at that time. Okay, so these are the common function you can also apply on top of the list. Apart from that, we are having some more inbuilt function. Let me discuss. So the next one we'll be discussing about count. So let me take the same example. Now in this particular example, I will add some more value. Let's say 4, 4, and 5. Now let's say you want to count one specific item, like how many times it is occurring in that particular list. Okay, let's say if I just do the count of 4, you will see that 4 is coming 3 times in this particular list. 1, 2, 3. Now if I give 5, it is coming 2 times. Okay, that's how you can also make a count. You can also make a count. So that's how actually you can make a count of any item inside a list. Now the next one, we're having something called index. Now what index will give you? Index will give you the index number of a item. So let me show you. Let's say this is my list, and now if I perform l.index, and let's say I want to check the index of 1. So if I give 1 here, so it will give me 0, because you can see at the 0 index 1 is present. Now let's say if I want to check the 2, I'll give 2 here, it will give me 1. Now if you want to get to know any index number of any kinds of item in a list, you can use this particular index function that time. Now the next one, we're having something called reverse. So let me take one example. Let's say I'll copy. If I perform l.reverse, and if I print this particular l, now I'll see that all the item would be reversed. Okay, now you can see 4 is coming, then 3, then 2, then 1. That means if you want to perform the reverse operation, you can use this particular reverse. So the same thing can be also done with the help of this particular sorted. Okay, sorted function, sorted common function. Now there is another one called sort. So let me also show you one sort example. What I can do, I can create a new list here. Inside that, I'll just mention some value. Let's say 4, 2, 1, 55, and 10. Okay, let's say these are the value actually I'm having in this particular list. Now if I perform sort operation, let's say if I do l.sort, and now if I print this particular list, you will see that all the items would be sorted. Okay, inside that you can see that all the item would be sorted. So you can see 1 is the smallest one, then 2, then 4, then 10, and 55. Now there is another one called copy. So copy can be used. Let's say I want to copy this particular list any other variable, I can do it. So I'll just write, let's say l1. Okay, l1 is equal to l.copy. Okay, l.copy. So now if I print this particular l1, you'll see that all the items actually I had inside my l, everything would be present inside l1 right now. Now let's say if I change anything inside l, inside the original list, let's say if I just do l.append, let's say I will add 500 in this particular list. Now if I print this particular list, you will see that 500 has been added. Now if I print this particular l1, see there is no change inside l1. That means I copied. Okay, I copied, these are the items already inside this particular l1. That means it is a separate object, this is a separate object. You can check. Let's say I can use this particular id function to check. Let's say if I show you the l memory id, you can see this is the l memory id, and I will show you the l1 memory id as well. I think it was l1. Yeah, l1 memory id. See, both are different. That means whatever changes actually we are doing inside this particular list, it won't be reflecting inside this particular list, because it is completely creating another object in the memory. Okay, that is the idea. So yes guys, these are like very commonly used function inside list, or you can also call it as method inside list. Okay, and these are the functionality actually will help you a lot going forward whenever you will do the projects and all. So in the next video, I'll try to discuss some operation on top of list, like how what are the operations actually we can perform on top of the list. Okay, so either guys, thank you so much for watching this particular video, and I will see you next time.